Welcome to Central Park on the Harmony of the Seas in May of 2022. Hey everyone, I'm Patrick from Oakland Travel, and it is mid-afternoon. We've had lunch at the Park Cafe, as you saw in the previous vlog episode. And I mentioned a couple of vlog episodes back about weddings on Royal Caribbean cruises. And as it turns out, there is a wedding going on right at the time that we're recording this video over in Dazzles, which is Deck 8, the same one that we're on here for Central Park. And we had been by Dazzles a couple of times earlier in the day, and they had the signs up, that it was closed for private event, private, wedding or whatever. And so you're going to see here in a minute where we kind of make our way back over there, and the wedding is still going on. So I guess, I guess the actual wedding has happened, and now, we're getting to like the after party for the wedding, the reception, right? So I guess the reception was going on in Dazzles, or maybe they did the wedding ceremony in Dazzles and then just immediately had the reception. I'm not quite sure how they do it. But I do know, as I mentioned in the other vlog episode, that the wedding, the idea of a wedding on a Royal Caribbean cruise is becoming more and more popular. This was, I think, the second wedding on this one 7-night cruise. Now, this was May, like right in the middle of the month in 2022. So it was a very, that's usually a good time to get married from what I understand. And so, perfect weather on this cruise and nice big ship. And so I guess a couple of different wedding parties decided to, come on here and have their wedding here. So we get over here to Dazzles, and you'll see the party is in full swing as they're doing the reception. Dazzles here is a nice big spot, perfect spot to do it actually, because it's a nice big 2-story venue. Yeah, you can see here they're getting into it. Got their own DJ going on in there, and of course you've got a nice big bar in Dazzles, and it has an excellent view sort of overlooking the boardwalk down there. So the perfect venue on the ship to do a wedding and wedding reception. So yeah, I guess it's just the in thing to do now. We see that come up a lot on social media. Oakland Travel operates a Facebook group, and it's called Royal Caribbean Cruising. And on that group, we periodically see comments asking about doing weddings. And I know from my previous days as a travel advisor that Royal Caribbean has an entire team that coordinates and handles weddings. And so they definitely do all of the planning for you. You can do where you have the actual ceremony and everything on the ship like we saw here. I think they even do a wedding situation where while the ship is still in port, you have the ceremony on the ship, and everybody that is comes on board the ship for the ceremony. And then the ones that are not going to stay on and do the cruise just leave the ship before the ship departs. So they have that option. So Royal Caribbean has a couple of different options going on for weddings. But and so it's also formal night as we get down here to the Royal Promenade a little bit later, and you start to see all the photographers setting up. So on a 7-night cruise, you typically have 2 formal nights. And I know Royal Caribbean and the cruise lines have moved away from calling it the quote formal night, but I'm still going to call it that. I think the new in phrase now is dress your best or something along those lines. But it's basically a formal night. So that's what you saw the photographers setting up for there. Formal night number 2 on this 7-night cruise on Harmony of the Seas in May of 2022.
Did you get recorded when you're down there?
A little bit.
We'll check it out now. May not be anything in it.
Yeah, that's true. That's this way. Yeah, there's the entertainment sign down there.
And then I want to... You continue doing your stuff, but after that I'm going to go up to the room.
Okay.
So I get my...